Hi guys, so last Sunday was my birthday, and here is how I made the cake and how we cut it. Hello guys, how are you? It's Ndut and it's my birthday today. So I'm decorating this tiny little cake. It's a 4-layer coconut and strawberry cake, and it's 5 inch. And I'm going to be using SMBC and chocolate ganache to sandwich it. So ganache on the bottom layer, compote on the second and third layer, and then I'll cover the whole cake with ganache. I'm just going to also spread the extra SMBC on the sides here as crumb coat for the cake, and then just put it in the freezer for a little bit while I roll out the fondant, which is brown in color. And I'm not going to soften the fondant. I'm just going to cut off a piece and just spread it out just like this. I'm using cornstarch to make sure it doesn't stick on the surface. And once I roll it out, I'll check the length and the width just to ensure that it goes around the cake. Even though I don't want it to go all the way round, I just want it to have a little space where I'll be able to add my lace. So I'm using several techniques here. And once I've added and smoothened this ganache, I'll let it dry as I melt my isomalt crystals. This I'm going to make my sail with. I'm going to make an isomalt sail, and I'll be able to add some chocolate chips on it. So I just melt it like this and make sure to get rid of all the bubbles just by swirling like this. And then I'll transfer this melted isomalt onto my silicone mat. So once I've done that, I will put it on top of a bottle just to shape it, and I'll use pegs to shape this and just make sure it's nicely curved. And I'm using a parchment paper underneath to catch any drippings, although there were none. So I'm going to leave it there to dry, and my ganache is dry enough to add the fondant, and I'm just going to place it like that and just cut off at the bottom. Then we are going to make I want to make lace here, and I'm using wafer paper. I just blended that with a little water and some brown color. It looks greenish here, but it's going to be a nice brown. So I'm going to spread it like that with my rubber spatula. Just make sure that it cooks and gets crispy. So you just spread it like that. Make sure the pan doesn't have any oil on it. I'm going to make 2 of these, and those will be enough for my lace. So it's going to have a lacy effect, and I'm going to add this just beside the fondant, and it will look like a nice frilly lace. And the fondant is going to look a bit like some leather fabric. Yeah, so I'm going to set my steam to get my steam ready. So I'm going to steam this part, the ganache and the fondant. That way my lace will be able to stick on. I'm just checking how it will work. So the 2 pieces of lace will be enough. And while my steamer gets hot, I'm just going to remove this isomalt sail because it's dry. Yeah, and you can use this to just add any toppers or any sweets and chocolate bits that you would want to add onto your cake. My steamer is now ready, so steam the ganache and the fondant, which are getting dry very fast, and then stick that lace on. Add as many layers as you like, and this you can have in any color that you're working with. I just wanted to go with the brown theme. And I'm going to use a kitchen towel just to tie around my cake, just to make it look like a nice little coat, you know. Okay, so I'm going to tie that, and then I'm going to get some some gold dust ready. And I'm going to just be mixing it with a bit of alcohol. I had some pink champagne remain from a previous project, but you can use clear essence, vanilla or almond, to mix your gold luster dust. So I have that ready, and I'm going to just paint the edges of the fondant and also the isomalt sail. That way it will just look like It has some gold accents which make a cake look very pretty. You can use rose gold as well as silver. But today I'm just using the regular gold, and it just makes it look very nice and fancy. So once I'm done applying my gold on the edges, I write my name just there on the side. All right, my name is Ndut, and so I'm adding the chocolate balls, chocolate and gold. These are just Folks chocolate balls, but they work well to decorate a cake. And my badge there, and it says happy birthday. Hi, so guys, this is how we cut the cake, and I feel like it's important to always show parts like this because it's kind of tricky sometimes to cut a circular cake, and many people cut like the triangle pieces, but this is a better method. And you can yield more, like we'll get about 20 pieces that are just enough, but if you cut it the triangular way, it doesn't serve enough people. So we are going to cut 3 pieces across like this, and because the cake is very tall, we are going to get about 6 pieces from a size like this. 6 pieces were just enough for us, but if you want more, you can get 3 out of this, 3 or 4 very long pieces, and you get all the flavors as well as you taste the fillings, the frosting and the jam compote as well as the chocolate ganache, just like this, or you can cut half of that. So something to think about. So tiny as it was enough for us and our neighbors. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Life in a world that keeps